The moment I saw him, I knew I was in trouble. Alex walked into the cafe with his easy smile and warm brown eyes, his presence lighting up the entire room. I tried to focus on my laptop, pretending to work, but I kept stealing glances over the top of the screen. I'd always prided myself on not being the kind of person to fall for strangers, but there was something about Alex that felt magnetic. Our first conversation was unplanned. He caught me staring and shot me a playful smile before walking over, taking a seat at my table without asking. I froze, not sure what to say, but he broke the ice quickly. We talked for hours about books, our favorite movies, and our dreams. Alex was as funny as he was handsome, and I found myself captivated by his stories and his laugh that felt as warm as summer. It wasn't long before we were spending more time together, going on coffee dates that turned into late-night walks around the city. One night, as we strolled under the stars, he slipped his hand into mine. My heart raced. I looked over, and his eyes met mine, his face open and sincere. It was in that quiet moment, surrounded by the city lights, that I realized I was falling in love. Our first night together felt natural, as if we'd been waiting for this all along. Alex invited me to his apartment after dinner, and we moved slowly, savoring each moment. There was an honesty between us that made everything feel safe. His touch was gentle, and his kiss felt like a promise. We stayed close until the early hours of the morning, talking softly and drifting off with our fingers intertwined. It was intimate in ways beyond the physical, a connection that felt like home. But things weren't always perfect. Relationships come with challenges, and ours was no exception. I had my insecurities, the kind that whispered fears that this was too good to be true, that someone as incredible as Alex couldn't really want me. I was afraid to share that with him, worried he'd think I was being unreasonable. But Alex was patient, sensing when I felt distant. One night he took my hand, looking at me with those steady eyes and said, "Whatever you're feeling, I'm here for you." Hearing him say that broke something in me. I felt like I could be honest with him, even about my fears. We talked late into the night, and I shared parts of myself that I'd never told anyone. He held me, not saying much, just listening. His quiet understanding reassured me, and I realized that this was what love felt like, vulnerability met with acceptance. Months passed, and our bond only grew stronger. We met each other's friends, celebrated birthdays, and learned each other's quirks. I got used to the way he laughed at his own jokes, and how he always stole the blankets at night. We built a life together, one full of little rituals and shared dreams. One evening, as we sat on his apartment balcony watching the sun dip below the horizon, he turned to me, his gaze full of warmth. "I love you," he said, his voice soft but certain. My heart felt like it might burst. I'd imagined him saying those words 1,000 times, but hearing them made everything real. "I love you too," I replied, my own voice barely a whisper. We stayed there, wrapped in each other's arms, as the city lights blinked to life around us. In that moment, I knew that no matter what lay ahead, we'd face it together. I was no longer afraid. Alex had shown me what it meant to love and to be loved fully, without reservation. We had found something rare and beautiful, and for the first time, I allowed myself to believe that it was ours to keep.